The first thing I noticed wasn't the silence in my Chicago apartment. It was the second coffee cup. It sat there on the kitchen table, still warm, a faint ring staining the wood like a fingerprint. Mine was by the sink. Hers was half empty, and there was another one across from it. 2 cups. 2 people. I hadn't texted that I was coming home early. That's when it hit me. Someone had been here recently, and they hadn't expected me. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. I stood frozen in the doorway, my keys still in my hand, my pulse crawling up my throat. The apartment smelled different. Not bad, just unfamiliar. Like a stranger had borrowed our life for an hour. "Emily," I called. No answer. I walked slowly past the kitchen, eyes scanning everything. The couch cushions were slightly off. Her throw blanket, folded too neatly. She never folded it like that. Something wasn't right. Then I heard the shower running. My chest tightened. I moved toward the bedroom, each step heavier than the last. The bathroom door was closed, steam slipping through the cracks. I could hear humming. Her voice. Normal. Too normal. "Hey," I said, knocking once. The humming stopped instantly. A pause. Then, "You're home early." Her tone, flat. Controlled. "Yeah," I said. "Thought I'd surprise you." Another pause. "Give me a minute." That minute stretched like a warning. I glanced back toward the kitchen. 2 cups. I stepped quietly into the bedroom. My eyes locked onto her phone on the nightstand. Screen dark. Silent. I picked it up. Locked. But then, a notification lit up the screen. "Mark, did he buy it?" My stomach dropped. I didn't breathe. Another message came in seconds later. "Mark, you said he wouldn't be home till 6. That's when the world tilted. Denial hit fast. Mark was her coworker. I'd met him once at a company dinner. Loud. Confident. Too comfortable around her. I told myself it was nothing back then. Now, it wasn't nothing. It was right here. In my bedroom. I set the phone down exactly where it was. The shower shut off. I stepped back into the hallway, forcing my face into something neutral. My heart was pounding, so hard it felt visible. Emily walked out minutes later, wrapped in a towel, hair damp. She looked at me, smiled faintly. "You scared me," she said. "Did I?" "Yeah. You never come home this early." I nodded slowly. Work was slow. She walked past me casually, like nothing had shifted. Like there weren't 2 coffee cups sitting in the kitchen like witnesses. "Want coffee?" she asked. I stared at her. "That's funny," I said. "I thought you already had some." Her hand paused mid-motion. Just for a second. Then she smiled again. "Yeah, I did. Earlier. Alone." She met my eyes. And lied. "Yeah." That's when something inside me cracked. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just quietly broke. But I didn't explode. I didn't accuse. I nodded. "Got it." And I walked away. That night, she acted normal. Cooked dinner. Sat next to me. Touched my arm like nothing had changed. But everything had. I didn't sleep. Instead, I watched. Listened. Waited. The next morning, I left for work like usual. But I didn't go far. I parked 2 blocks away and waited in my car. At 10:12 a.m., a black sedan pulled up in front of our building. And out stepped Mark. Confident. Smug. Like he belonged there. He didn't knock. He walked straight in. That's when the denial died. And something colder took its place. I didn't confront them. Not yet. I needed more. Over the next week, I built a case. Receipts. Messages. Patterns. I hired a divorce lawyer downtown. Quiet, efficient. I handed over everything. "Open and shut," she said. "But if you want leverage, we can get it." I did. I installed a small camera in the living room. Legal in my state. My apartment. My property. I waited. 3 days later, they were back. Laughing. Drinking coffee. 2 cups on the table again. Like a ritual. I watched everything from my office, the live feed glowing on my laptop. Their comfort. Their arrogance. The way he leaned back in my chair. The way she laughed at things she never laughed at with me. That's when it hit me again. She wasn't just cheating. She had erased me. So I stopped being her husband. And became something else. I coordinated everything carefully. Her company had strict policies about workplace relationships, especially undisclosed ones. Mark was her supervisor. They'd both signed that agreement. I compiled the footage, the messages, the timestamps. Then I waited for the right moment. Their company's annual conference. Big event. Executives. HR. Everyone. I showed up unannounced. Emily saw me first. Her smile dropped instantly. "What are you doing here?" she whispered. "Ending something," I said. Mark walked over, confused. "Everything okay?" I looked at him. Really looked. "No," I said calmly. "But it's about to be." I handed an envelope to the HR director standing nearby. Inside was everything. Silence spread slowly, like a spill. Questions. Tension. Faces turning. Mark's confidence cracked first. Emily followed. "Wait, this isn't," she started. But it was. All of it. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I just stood there as their world began to fold in on itself. Investigations started immediately. Policies violated. Positions at risk. Reputations unraveling. I walked out before it finished. Cold. Quiet. Done. The divorce was finalized 2 months later. She tried to reach out. Apologize. Explain. I never responded. The apartment felt different after she left. Empty, but clean. One morning, I made coffee. Just 1 cup. I sat at the same table. Same spot. No extra chair pulled out. No second cup. And for the first time in a long time, nothing felt off. No noise. No lies. Just silence. The kind that doesn't hide anything. I took a sip, staring at the faint ring still etched into the wood. It never fully disappeared. I didn't try to remove it. Some things shouldn't be erased. They should be remembered. The end.